everybody, it's me, Miniature Molly, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, and that's mainly because I recorded things and either didn't finish them fully or just talked myself out of uploading them because I just didn't think that they were good enough. But I feel like right now I'm finally getting to the right headspace to record, and my husband so lovingly bought me some new equipment that is inspiring me to record a little bit more often. So yeah. So I originally started this channel because I was on my weight loss journey to get myself to Hogwarts or Universal Studios and be able to ride the rides, because I had learned that Universal Studios was not super fat friendly. And I knew at that time when I first started this channel, I was not going to be able to fit on the ride. And when we first went to Universal, I actually fit, but just barely. Like, I had to squeeze myself in there. And then we went back the next year, and I was pretty much in Wonderland at that point and had lost a ton of weight, and I fit perfectly on the rides, had no struggles whatsoever. And then last year, or this past September, we went, and I think it was about 2 to 3 months postpartum with our daughter, and I was approximately the same weight that I was when we first went to Universal Studios, when I had lost a whole bunch of weight. But I didn't fit on the ride. I went and tested the tester seat, but my body had changed physically at that point to a point where I didn't fit, because where I was carrying my weight was not conducive for the ride. So, because I'm pretty bottom heavy. My top doesn't tend to get, I mean, it is big, but my bottom seems to be where I carry most of my weight. And I didn't fit on the ride, or I kind of didn't push myself to figure out if I was going to get turned away, because I do have some larger seats towards the back of the ride. I think the last two are like every other is they're larger, that can hold larger people. So and I just didn't fit, and I didn't want to test it, and we had a baby at the time, so I was like not worried about it. But we decided that we're not going to go to Universal for a little bit, just because we want to make sure that we're both in a healthy place where we both can ride rides, and also our small child might not be as much of a hassle. I don't know how to put this, because right now she was only a very itty bitty baby, so someone had to stay with her. Although Universal's rider swap to me seems a lot better than Disney's rider swap, because you can still walk the queue with them, and that's like a big thing for me and my husband, is spending the time in the queue together and talking and putting things out to each other. And so Universal provides that, and you kind of just swap out with the child. So I think when our child is a little bit older, I feel like it will be more fun for us to do the rider swap at that point. Also, we might not go until our daughter Heartland can actually ride the rides at Universal, because one of the big things, in my opinion, or draw, is that you get to ride the rides and get to experience some of the magic, especially in the Harry Potter area, of just Hogwarts and all that. So yeah, something we're holding off on. But there's a part of me that really wants to go back maybe sooner than that, but I also want to make sure that I'm back to the smaller version that I was. And I know it's going to take some time to get there, especially because, you know, my pregnancy and my postpartum were really difficult in the aspect that I gained a lot of weight. And yeah, I didn't make the best choices while I was pregnant, because I was really struggling finding foods that my body was accepting, because I was just in a weird body, like my first trimester, I was like nauseous a little bit, and so everybody told me to eat carbs, and then I started eating carbs. Once I introduced that back into my body, after not eating it for so long, it was just bad. And I just overindulged a lot. And a lot of people said to me, well, you're pregnant, so you can eat whatever you want. And I don't feel like that's true, because you should be eating to make and provide for a healthy baby. And if you're only eating out of a small food group of unhealthy foods, then you're not really providing. Now, towards the end of my pregnancy, I actually got into like end of my second trimester into my third trimester. I was eating a lot healthier. I was actually losing a little bit of weight during that time. But when after the baby was born, I was breastfeeding and I was losing a little bit of weight, but then I kind of transitioned off of breastfeeding with work, and then because of that I started to regain the weight because I was eating for breastfeeding and trying to produce milk, and then I wasn't losing weight really. I was just kind of maintaining weight during that period, and as soon as I stopped breastfeeding, I started gaining a whole bunch of weight. So I feel like after I had Heartland, I went through a lot of postpartum anxiety and depression, and I really struggled a lot. And not to make excuses or anything like that, but that was one of the reasons I feel like it was really hard for me to get refocused. I think it took me finally seeing myself as bigger, because I still in my head was seeing this smaller version of myself that was carrying just a little bit of baby weight, instead of someone who was going back up to their original weight that they had originally started on. And I guess my brain finally snapped on when I tried on some regular pants, because I had been wearing basically leggings my whole entire pregnancy, and leggings stretch, so you don't really notice when they're getting more snugger or anything like that. You just kind of notice. But I went and tried on a pair of pants that I had worn in my around my heaviest season of life, and they fit almost perfectly, and I was like, okay, I don't think I want to be this way anymore. And I think I spent a season of just beating myself up because I felt like we just didn't have the financial or the money to invest into me doing the program. And after talking with my husband, we basically decided it was kind of a necessity. So I am back on program. I've been back on program for about 2 weeks now, and I am down almost, I think 15 pounds at this point. So I'm really proud of myself, and I'm just excited to see what comes next. Where on my journey will I go? I would love to get back to Hogwarts, whether it's just me and my husband, or if I am going with friends. I just think that that would be great. So I'm planning on starting up and uploading videos on Wednesdays again, and do my kind of weigh-in Wednesday videos just to keep myself accountable. Also, I am on Instagram, and I am pretty good about updating. I'm trying to maintain on there and kind of share what's going on in my life. So if you're interested in that, definitely follow me on Instagram. Down in the description will be my Instagram, a link to my Instagram. So follow me there. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm really hoping I can get back to Wonderland. That is my ultimate goal, is to get back to Wonderland. So I will see you all later, and thanks for watching. Bye!